Now, I did something that I've never done before, and I'm quite proud of it, even though it doesn't have that many views. I made my own original short story, and I uploaded it to YouTube and everything. Yeah.
That's cool.
Peace. Yeah. You want to watch it now? If you
Yeah, please.
Okay. Awesome.
What's it called?
Peace.
Peace.
No.
It's Piece.
Hey, that's the word that we couldn't figure out.
What?
One word that sounds like another word, but
yeah.
Word peace.
Peace.
Hey, it's Suicide Squad.
Man, the movie looks okay, but I don't like the look of the Joker.
I can see what they're doing here, and I think I might be able to get behind it. I don't know. My issue was I was complaining a lot about Harley Quinn being a slut, but the truth is
that's good. Why not?
She is. Yeah, she is a slut.
Yeah.
It should be on the somewhere.
See if...
Oh, now you just went in a complete different direction.
I messed things up.
Maybe
okay, I'll just go to your page.
Yeah, it's the most recent video. I think. The second most recent.
Did you animate this?
Yeah. No, that's the channel trailer. Stop.
I like the music you did for that video a lot.
I did it. It wasn't the most recent video. It was the second most recent video.
I want to see Mike's Lego guy.
Oh my God.
Hey.
Yeah.
Man, your attention to detail is amazing.
Yeah.
So in the end, does he give it his own head?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, because he all of his memories sort of restart every time he switches bodies. Do you get it? Do people get it? I don't know if people get it or not. I don't know. I kind of like the music. That was the...
Oh, I see. So then that's a message to himself.
Yeah. So, what is... Oh, yeah. You want me to...
Is that Mike right there?
Yeah, it's Mike.
Yeah.
It's pretty loud. I don't know if yeah, it's pretty loud.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
That was really good.
Thank you.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
I love the sets. I love your lighting. I love the angles. Like, the camera work is just amazing.
Yeah.
It's really cool, dude.
Yeah,
You got a really fantastic attention to detail.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's cool.
I'm blushing pretty hard here. I was afraid people weren't gonna get it. I mean, when I did it, I knew it wouldn't be as popular as, Cataclysm Part 2 or Regeneration or whatever. It's not out yet, but I know it's gonna have a lot of views. But it really was, from a storytelling standpoint, it was really refreshing, telling an original story that didn't have any ties to anything else. It was just, like, internally it felt like, oh, I can do whatever I want. I can go anywhere from here. No ties to anything. No lore I have to adhere to. Just its own internal consistency.
Yeah. So, the question: why build himself a new body? What is his purpose?
Build himself a new body. He was building bodies just to sort of build, just out of curiosity, I think.
And he puts his head onto the new body.
Yeah,
his memory starts over.
Yeah, because he couldn't find the other head. The other head didn't even have a face on it. It was just blank. And he figures out that parts of him are kind of just scattered all over the other, or parts of him used to be part of other people.
Right.
When he discovers the Lego head with the Lego body with no face, he sees the other leg is missing, and it's the exact same color as his right leg. The right leg's missing, so his leg's like, oh, what the fuck? It's weird.
I see. So he's putting together that he is built out of all of these different people.
So he builds other people, and hopefully, he can continue on and hopefully find more heads and they can just rebuild. So that's essentially what it is. It's just, it's symbolic of passing on information and throughout the generations, and just stuff like that.
That's really
maybe
cool.
Some reincarnation here and there. Yes, it's reincarnation. There you go. And peace is a double entendre. I gotta stop saying that word. It could also mean that there's peace because it's quiet. There's no conflict or war or anything. I don't know.
Right.
No, that's not what it means at all. That's bullshit. I was kind of insecure about this one in particular when I was editing it, because I was just really careful about the music choice and the length. Some of the idling shots. I had to refilm some stuff just so it can be clear what's happening. Like, originally, when near the end, when the head goes on and the other body falls over, that wasn't there. It was just a shot of him and the sound effect. But I wanted to kind of make it a little bit more clear the second time around, so people really drove that point home. The whole story was based off of a photo story I did in black and white photography, which is just with, it's just a story told with still images. So we had to take pictures, develop the film, develop the photos, and tell a coherent story from start to finish. And one of the examples that our teacher brought to us was I forget what the movie was called. It was made in the 60s. It was just black and white still images of this guy going back in time, and it kind of runs. Since it's a time travel story, it's obviously going to be like a closed loop.
Right.
So I decided to do a sort of loop for my photo story. It was just essentially that, only with black and white still images.
Yeah.
I think I showed you some of them. I think
I recall.
a while back.
Yeah.
Because I left my photo binder here. And black and white photography. Working with film is just a whole nother monster, because from start to finish, it's a very hands-on process. You're in control of everything, whereas with digital, it's more just adjusting here and there. You're mostly just on the computer, but you have to construct the setup, the composition, and everything. You have to make sure the film is completely safe. So you're handling the film appropriately, putting it on the reel. You have to learn some chemistry, because you have to get the temperature of the water right and the composition of the chemicals right, and it has to be in there. Just a certain amount of time and everything. So that's very hands-on. And developing the photo itself is also very hands-on because you're still working with chemicals when you're developing the photo, and then you have to frame it a certain way. You got to get Bristol board for the frame of the picture itself. So start to finish, very hands-on, very interesting experience. Glad I did it. I tried to enter this to the film festival, so I just tried to adapt it to a video format, which some of the shots are from. There was a whole intro sequence involving involving a rat in the maze, and I just didn't feel like with the story, because I felt like it was trying to pretty much just told you how everything got like this, not really explaining it, not leaving it as a bit of a mystery or almost an irrelevancy. So I got rid of that when I decided to upload it to YouTube. I refilmed some stuff, added some more scenes in, and there you go. There's Peace. It's probably not going to be popular, but I liked it. But people liked it. I've read some of the comments, like from the Lego Bricks, and he's a YouTube user. Yeah. I actually voiced Kraven the Hunter in his show.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, his show's pretty good.
Cool.
He's pretty good. He's doing good. I got to do a shout out to you, Lego Bricks. So people like it. You know, it's not going to be as popular, obviously, and I knew that before I went into this. But personally, it felt good. It felt good to do something original for once, because I felt like I felt a bit leech-ish. Like I was, harping on something else a lot more popular in order to gain notoriety. So I decided to do something of my own. Of course, it's not going to be as popular because you can't beat Spider-Man.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't feel too bad about it. I don't feel bad that it doesn't have that many views. I'm okay with it.
Well, congratulations, man. That's great.
Yeah, I can't wait to enter it into the film festival.
Yeah. Well, when does that come up again? Because I know would you miss the deadline last year?
Yeah. I missed it by an hour.
Oh my god.
I know.
Why? That's just dumb. Why couldn't they just say, wow.
Yeah. Oh my god. Finishing it for the film festival, that was a exercise all on its own. It was, because I hardly got any sleep, and I was just filming and filming and filming. In the original version of Peace, I kept in that intro sequence, because without it, it wouldn't have been 3 minutes long, and that was as long as that was the maximum length of the animation section of the contest or festival. I'm sorry, a lot of water. So I had portions of it on the computer and portions of it on flash drives. So I'm just like, oh god, I left it at home. What do? Do I go home, work on it, come back, go home, take it, go back to school, work on it? And I was just trying to finish up other stuff too for school. And when I eventually got to it, I was surprised I got it done at all.
Right.
Because there are certain parts in the editing process where you have no control over how long it's going to take, and you have to factor that in into how much time you have. The rendering process, no control over that. It's going to render for this amount of time. Okay, fine.
Right.
Then I have to burn it to a CD. That's going to take probably double the time that I already had to wait to render it, because it's a slightly more complicated process.
Yeah.
I think. So yeah. The mere fact that I got it in an hour is amazing, because I've been working on this for a couple of months while also working on Regeneration Part 1 and also going to school and also working. So, I mean, it's not like the most vexing thing in the world, but it's reasonably busy. So, yeah, and maybe next year.
So when is the next film festival?
Next semester.
Next semester.
That's when, it starts. So.
The fall semester.
Yeah, fall and spring. And I think I will be there for the spring semester. So I'm proud of it. I'm good. Now I have more confidence to actually work on something else a little bit more different too. Another brick film that's different. And I didn't want to work on something where people would go, oh yeah, it's probably just better because it's Legos doing this. If it was real people, it probably wouldn't have this much meaning. So I wanted to craft a story that would be specifically for figures that could just pop off arms and legs and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now explain to me, why is there not a shot of him taking off his head?
I think that was part of the mystery.
Okay.
Just the head popping on. Also, that would have been really fucking hard to animate. Him taking off his head.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things that you shouldn't really see. I don't know. I kind of like the fact that you don't see something like that happening, because it's a little disconcerting watching someone rip off their own head.
Sure.
So it's something that I didn't feel like showing. I'd rather see him put stuff together than things just falling apart.
Okay.
And what I like about it is it's pure screenplay. It's the character's actions doing stuff, not so much dialogue. What I can put on the set, what I can animate,
Right.
and whatever sort of mood I can convey by how I film it.
Which is really true to the art of animation. The
Yeah.
fact that the story is conveyed through your movements and not conversation, not dialogue.
Yeah, so I don't have to... Because with dialogue, there's always some parts where I go, well, that's really strong. Other parts where I go, okay, this is... Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I get a little cringeworthy for some of the stuff I made in the past. But with screenplay, it's a bit more pure,
Yeah,
I guess.
I was going to say.
So I would have an easier time watching Peace than I would have watching just a talking scene.
Sure. Plus, animation tends to stop during conversation, right?
Yeah.
You don't need it necessarily. You're paying attention to what they say, not what they do.
Well, I've been trying to add in more idle animations, like when someone's standing still, just have them sort of sway back
Yeah,
and
yeah.
forth, maybe look left to right. Because when animating, I'm getting kind of sick and tired of just moving the arms and moving the hands a bit when they're talking.
Yeah.
Because physically, when you're talking, I think head turning and slightly changing your posture conveys movement while in dialogue than just moving your
Right,
arms.
yeah.
Like, it's a bit
People
robotic.
aren't running, right, yeah,
It's
yeah.
more natural that people would just sort of like,
Yeah.
that's the chair, by the way.
So is that difficult swaying? Is that difficult to do with a Lego figure?
It's pretty easy.
Cool.
It's easy. It's a bit tedious
Right.
because I don't really know when to stop. I just sort of have them just move like to the side a bit, lean in, sort of have their legs turn, but not really like, I guess it's hard to explain. I keep their legs, stuck into the pegs, but I kind of turn them a bit, but not so far where the legs come off the pegs, but just enough where you can see.
Okay, you
it.
kind of like swivel them on the pegs a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it does look really smooth. It's because I'm looking through some of the animation I've done in the last couple of weeks, and I think looks good.
That's cool.
Yeah. And one of the things about Regeneration Part 1 is I'm almost done. I actually looked at all the stuff I had to film. It's like, oh, I'm almost done.
Seriously?
Wow. Yeah, it's
How many more
weird.
scenes do you have to film?
Probably like 3 or 4.
That's awesome. Dude.
Yeah.
So what do you think, the next week, 2 weeks?
Yeah, probably.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm really excited now. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, because I remember that action centerpiece was like, once I got over that hump, I'm just like, oh,
It's all downhill.
Yeah, well, kind of, yeah. Yeah,
You heard it here.
yeah. I'm almost done, guys. Stop it, okay? I get it. How do you think I feel? How do you think I fucking feel? Jesus. Ugh.
How long has it been?
Jesus.
A year?
It's been 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah,
Seriously?
since Cataclysm Part 1.
My God.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
It's an issue.
The more detail you do, the more advanced you get, the longer they take. You're not just spitting out, figures with subtitles anymore. You're really,
Yeah.
it's an intense process.
It's gonna
Oh,
be,
you don't need me to tell you that.
It's gonna be really, really bad. I'm quoting Suicide Squad as a segue to Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Alright, this trailer I did see.
Okay,
Yes.
what do you think of Suicide Squad?
From what I could see of the trailer...
Makes you want to commit suicide.
With
With a squad.
With a squad, yeah.
Yeah.
Or cult, doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
It's better with friends. Like getting
Um,
drunk and playing Wii.
Why not? You could do that alone.
Yeah.
The trailer didn't make it seem as if the Joker was a very big part of the film.
I think he might be a villain in it, but I don't know.
In the comic books, he wasn't ever part of the Suicide Squad.
I don't know much about Suicide Squad.
mean,
All I know is
this is what I was told. Yeah.
All I know is Assault on Arkham, and he wasn't really a part of the Suicide Squad, but he was a hindrance a bit to the overall goal that they had. So he might be a villain in this, or as I said, generally a hindrance to whatever specific goal that Walker has set for them. Waller, not Walker. Waller. I'm sorry.
Texas Ranger.
Yeah. So, yeah, DC's actually doing it. They're actually putting their stuff together, and I'm proud of them because at least with something a little bit more serious, the stakes are there. And I feel like I've said this 1,000 times already with Marvel. I feel like it's not really there, and they're kind of losing it a bit. I said this before Age of Ultron came out, and Age of Ultron just sort of cemented that sentiment I had, cemented that feeling that I had since a while, really. And there's been directors who are leaving the Marvel Cinematic Universe because they don't feel like they have the most control over certain things. Like, I remember Joss Whedon. Well, he's just, I mean, bad couple of months for this guy, with him leaving Twitter or something, and there not being a director's cut. I don't know if I have the story with me. It's an interesting story. I think I should read this out loud because it's because I remember when they were looking for a director for Black Widow. They got the woman who did the Martin Luther King Selma, the Selma movie, or a period piece, which is stunt director. That's a stunt move if anything, because it's just like, hey, let's get a black woman who did a black period piece film about a black guy, black to the Black Panther, black movie, black. Typing and trying to talk at the same time is really hard. And she said that she didn't really, they just didn't see eye to eye, and I thought this would happen, because that's usually what happens with this sort of thing. It's like, oh, creative differences always. It's like Ben Affleck and Jennifer Gardner. Yeah.
Creative differences.
Yeah. I'm reading this from Screen Rant. Marvel. Oh fuck. Sorry, got an ad. Continue. Okay. Marvel Studios may have passed on giving a presentation at San Diego Comic-Con 2015, but that hasn't stopped fans from speculating about the studio's promising future, with movies like Captain America: Civil War, Doctor Strange in the near future, and Black Panther and Captain Marvel even further down the road. I'm more excited for Shazam than I am Captain Marvel, ironically enough. Peyton Reed's Ant-Man will open in theaters. I'm so used to saying, who did Dawn of the Dead, or Shaun of the Dead?
Oh,
What's
I don't know.
name?
I can't remember.
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can see it. Edgar Wright. I'm so used to Edgar Wright's Ant-Man because he's been working on this fucking movie ever since I was in like elementary school, I think. And I've been hearing about this, and he just left because the vision that he had for Ant-Man didn't gel well with what the Marvel Cinematic Universe eventually became, and I think this might be another symptom of what's happening with the people that they're hiring here, producer meddling and whatnot.
Right.
I'm not reading from the article, I'm reading from my brain. Peyton Reed's Ant-Man will open in theaters this Thursday night, so last Thursday, a couple days ago. At the time of writing this, but Joss Whedon's Age of Ultron, which made an enormous amount of money at the box office, is still fresh in many minds. No, it's not. Shut up. No, it's not. It's not fresh in my mind. No, it's not. It's not. Fans still discuss the highlights of the film, like the extra insight Hawkeye received for the big brawl between Hulk and Iron Man. But after it released, a lot of focus shifted to what happened behind the scenes as well. During interviews, Joss Whedon revealed that he and Marvel did not exactly see eye to eye on certain elements of the story. Despite that, Whedon says there likely won't be a director's cut edition for the Blu-ray DVD. It's fucking...
What? Would they not let him do one, or what?
He doesn't want one, or something.
Why?
Well, we'll see, I think. I don't know. While speaking during a panel at Nerd HQ, Collider reports that Whedon stated he's not interested in making a director's cut, and even added that he has never wanted to create one. While there were disputes over Age of Ultron's story, Whedon believes that the narrative came very close to what he envisioned, and explained that the Blu-ray DVD will still include material that was meant to be in the movie. And meant is in quotations. And this is his quote right here. It has always been my ambition never to do a director's cut of anything, and always to make the movie with the studio that we both want to make. Ultron was very complex. I'm giving a look to Sam right now. There was a lot of back and forth. My instinct is no. Just as an artist, I'm super fucking lazy, and that sounds like it would be hard. I think he better be being fucking facetious. I don't know. I don't think there's interest in it right now.
I'm interested.
I'm interested. You completely... okay, I'm going to get on that later. You'll see a bunch of stuff on the DVD and the extras that were meant to be there, but the narrative came together very close to the way that I hoped it would, and I don't think it needs to. I don't think it needs me to be constant. Oh fuck me. and I don't think it needs me to constantly tweak it. First time I ever heard of a remix, I was 13, and I heard about this quote before I read this article. Okay, here we go. The first time I ever heard a remix, I was 13, I was listening to the radio. I heard a song that had been remixed, and it freaked me out so much that I turned off the radio and never listened to it since. Literally.
He's never listened to the radio since?
I don't know. That is an actual truth. I felt like, wait, that was the song. You can't do that. Our entire culture consists on doing exactly that. But I'm not for it. If I tell a story, I want that story to be told. I don't know. That sounds like a contradiction to pretty much everything that you've already done. Because I'm pretty sure you did a Shakespeare play. I'm not a Shakespeare play. You did a film adaptation of a Shakespeare play that was a remix set in modern times. I distinctly recall that. Much Ado About Nothing.
He did?
I think so.
Huh.
A film adaptation of that. I don't remember.
Was it Romeo plus Juliet?
No, that wasn't. No. He also did Cabin in the Woods, which was a remix of the genre.
Yeah.
So his whole career is based off of self-referencing and remixes, and look how different this is. Look how quirky I am. Quip. I don't understand what's it. Maybe he just isn't into music production. Maybe he would feel differently.
Maybe.
Because music is a different. It's different than this. This isn't a remix at all. This is you. This is you doing something. This isn't someone else coming in here and doing something different. This is you. Everyone involved with this.
Yeah.
It's not a. It's. Oh, I guess remixes can be done by the same person, but those the original still exists. You know, I don't know. I guess this having two versions sort of ruins the
Canonity. I don't know if that's the right word.
I guess it ruins.
It makes it less canon, doesn't it? Which one would you consider to be canon?
If it's
I guess neither of them are canon.
If the end result is the same, but we have more explanation to what happened, then there's a more cohesive story, and it's still canon. We just have more explanation.
I can kind of see what he's saying, because if you want to consider it to be a consistent universe, and that seems, I don't know if this is his motivation, but that kind of seems to be what Marvel's building towards, to have several versions of the story, or even a story which includes more. How does that factor into there be a consistent cinematic universe? Which one do you consider to be the chief authority on what happened with these characters?
I think the closest thing that we could come to in terms of director's cut, the way it's structured, is more info, but really nothing major has changed. Like, the end result is still the same, and they do retcon some stuff out anyway.
Right.
Like, from the earlier stuff. Because Tony Stark is just a slightly different character than he was back then. Because when something bad happened to Tony Stark, he would actually get kind of scared. And he would get worried and concerned instead of joking every 5 fucking seconds. like there's people ripping open his chest and putting shit in there. It's just like, yeah, oh god. I bet, like, if this was done today, he'd be like, okay, come on, guys, hurry this stuff up. I got places to be. All right,
are you gonna buy me dinner first?
Yeah. I'm gonna wear protection for you. Put your just in the whoa. That's it.
Yeah.
Given the fact that there was some conflict between Whedon and Marvel, Whedon said that the farm and the dream scenes wouldn't be allowed if he didn't incorporate Thor and Eric Slagvig during the cave. Many fans would more than likely be interested in seeing the complete story Whedon wanted to tell. Because of that, it is disappointing to hear that there won't be a director's cut of the Whedon sequel to the Avengers. But on the plus side, it does sound like he's pleased with the extras, so that should keep the fans painting a clear picture of what happened. Okay, fine, that's great. While the villain Ultron did play a substantial role in the story, a noticeable chunk of Age of Ultron was spent building up the future events of Marvel Cinematic Universe. Not only did this bring about new stuff, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, Vision, Ultron. I think this is the Whedon understands if his fans find religious parallels in that dynamic as well as other elements in the film. This is Joss Whedon again. There's a lot of Christian iconography going on because everyone in that movie thinks that they're the savior, including Tony Stark. It's like, dude, look at your beard. You're a supervillain. We invoke that stuff because it's resonant to the idea that of whether or not we can solve something, whether or not we can evolve, and whether or not we can be our best selves. Obviously, I don't want to say that the Vision is Jesus and Ultron is the mean guy from the First Testament. I don't want to be specific, but everyone is obviously just going to bring that into play. Yeah, and he has a whole bunch of other quotes here. So, yeah, that's a thing. That happened. Well, there was this documentary on Atari called Atari Game Over, which went over the history of E.T. and how it affected the games industry in the West, and how they eventually got to burying all the cartridges in the desert, and it sort of centered around them digging it up and seeing if it is actually all there. So
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, it just goes over the history of the beginning of Atari, the guy who actually developed the game. I forget his name, but he seemed like a cool guy. Here's how I would explain it. If we were alive back in the 70s and 80s, as we are right now, we would have been friends with this guy. It just seems like we would know that guy.
Okay.
Just his mannerisms, the way he would talk, the best way I can describe it. So, I thought it was pretty good, pretty interesting, it paints a more even picture because people like to harp on that game and like to jump on Atari's. Jump down Atari's throat for being overall shit. Which they kind of are at this point, unfortunately. That's what happens. And it's cathartic, saying the Atari commercials in it, and it goes, Atari, the way of the future, or something like that. But they wouldn't have known. So yeah, so games. So even beyond that, these were. I actually put it in the computer and just looked through the files and seeing. Just the date created. It was like 1995, 1996. For some reason, I just envisioned some guys working in an office, finishing that particular file on that time. Just like, okay, done. Put it onto the CD, burn it, there, done, or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's weird. But that dinosaur adventure game and that human body is not aged well at all. I don't know.
What was it? A science game or what?
It was an educational game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it had illustrations and such, but I don't really recall going through that because I was fucking 4 years old.
Yeah.
My literacy, in terms of larger words, like millions of years ago, 65 million years ago, my brain could not possibly process that at that age.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a learning gap for me, but the fact that I was, on the computer and fiddling around with it at that age was probably something, but
yeah.
I think it's the fact that it was in 3D. It was the 90s 3D that is aged horribly. It's like the pixel stuff, like the games that are already on Windows 95, like Rodin's Revenge and that skiing one. All those have aged better because of the pixels.
Yeah.
But this, no one wants to play that game. The animation, everything. It was literally the first thing I was ever exposed to in terms of video games, and 3D video games. So I'm just like, this is the greatest thing ever. and you could change the texture. The texture, the skin of the dinosaur, the 3D dinosaur, you could turn it around, and you would make them gold. Everything this is the coolest fucking thing ever. And whenever they and the dinosaurs would say something whenever you change it, oh, I made it gold, and I would sort of change it just mid sentence, and I don't know, that was so funny to me. I'm gold. No, don't keep me like this. I don't want to be like this. No. And I would just cut them off. Yeah, but it's oh god, I got so nostalgic because I haven't thought about that game in years. So I see the video of it, I see the gates opening to this sort of Jurassic Park facsimile, and it's just awful.
Yeah. The
trees, the dinosaurs, they don't move. They're just it's like you carved them out of rock or something, and you're like, that's a dinosaur. There you go. And I put some brown texture on it, and there you go. That's a dinosaur.
Trust me.
It just looks like they're made out of rocks.
Yeah.
Man, my tastes were awful when I was 4 years old.
Well, you can't blame yourself. You were an idiot.
Yeah. I mean, it's
sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I always wanted to sort of get that in there. DOSBox action. Suicide Squad.
I hate Jared Leto. I just thought. Because I said that before.
Well, you said something else about something. What else did you say about Jared Leto?
The only good moment he had on screen was when he was murdered by Patrick Bateman in American Psycho.
Well, you're gonna really love him after he does the Joker, and he ends up dying, and everyone loves him after
that.
Yeah. It's gonna be really something.
Did he actually die in the movie?
In American Psycho?
No.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they would release that information. I doubt it because
suicide, maybe.
I'm talking about Jared Leto as a human being.
Oh, when he actually dies.
Yeah, because Heath Ledger.
Oh.
He's got literally one. You have literally one actor dying after playing the Joker, like right after playing the Joker. And that's it. So people think, like, oh yeah, it's definitely a thing. Even though Mark Hamill's still alive.
It's going to be like the Defense Against the Dark Arts position at Hogwarts.
Jesus.
Like, everyone who plays the Joker dies.
No one who's played... like, Caesar What's-His-Face died because he was just old. Everyone else who's played the Joker is, like, pretty much still alive, I think.
It's going to be, from now on, anyone who plays the Joker.
What do you mean from now on? There's
You watch and see. The thing is, I'm personally going to kill Jared Leto at some point.
There's been other people who played the Joker, though, and some of the animated stuff, like the DC animated stuff.
I'll bet you.
Assault on Arkham, Under the Red Hood. I think I don't remember.
Animation.
Yeah, some of the DC animated stuff. Yeah, you had other people playing the Joker, and they have not died horribly.
$100 that every one of those people will eventually die.
You're on. That wasn't as laugh. Yeah,
Bane.
No, that Bane does not laugh.
Like
although Jesse Eisenberg, his delivery when he said the red capes are coming, the second verse sounded a bit like Bane. The red capes are coming.
I think maybe he was doing a Bane impersonation.
I don't know.
Just like fucking around.
He just put his hand over his voice. Like, no one's gonna know what that means. He doesn't exist in this universe, and we don't even have concept of Bane. I don't know what you're doing there. It's like Deadpool. We don't know what you're talking about. Oh, did you see Deadpool? Oh, Suicide Squad. I
think I did see the Deadpool trailer.
I saw it too, but it was poor quality, I think.
Suicide Squad. I don't know. I don't want to think yet. What do you have to say?
Oh, well, I think it looks all right. My concern was with the director before they had any footage of it at all, because he seemed like the kind of director who was used to making a different type of film other than comic book stuff, and I was afraid that wouldn't really gel well. But I think it looks just fine, and he's doing something different with the Joker, and the Joker he's always being done in a different way, and I guess people are more familiar with the Joker than they are with Iron Man. So if there's any discrepancies in the way that he's written versus how he is in the comic books,
we notice.
Well, we don't notice because we don't know that much about Tony Stark. Well, most people don't.
No, sorry, I meant with the Joker.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We noticed it with the Joker because he's a more prominent villain in Batman's arsenal versus, the Ironmonger or the Crimson Dynamos or even Black Widow to a degree. Who else? The Mandarin is higher up, so when things are done differently, that gets a little bit more traction.
Right.
It's putting me off guard. It's making me feel uncomfortable, but I think that's the point.
Sure.
So whatever they're doing next, and his teeth aren't really grills. I think Batman at one point just knocked his fucking teeth out, so he just replaced them
with metal.
Yeah. I think so. I think that's what they're going for.
Okay.
And one of the things I am excited for is to watch Ben Affleck beat the shit out of the Joker.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing it. I can see I'm not going to like this guy, but I'm going to like this guy. I can see them at least trying to attempt to do something like that. So when they bump fists, well, not bump fists, when they bump heads, it's going to be, I think it's like, yeah, beat the shit out of him, punch him again. Because in The Dark Knight, I'm sitting there in the theater, and Christian Bale's just like punching the Joker over and over again. I'm just like, no, don't. He's right. It's the best part of the stop. Oh god, that really looks like it fucking hurts. Where are they? No, stop. But I'm gonna be cheering it on this time around. Like, yeah, his ass.
Time to a chair. Put on It's Cool to Be Square and slit the Joker's throat.
Well, you got newspaper all over the place, Sam? Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, it's not your fault. I just,
Don't want to short circuit the...
certainly, I couldn't...
the phone and the Game Boy and the laptop. And,
especially not the Game Boy.
Yeah, because it's a Game Boy Color.
It's a Tommy Hilfiger Game Boy.
Yeah, that's really clever. It's really cool.
Sorry, too.
Okay. Tommy Hilfiger.
My grandma bought that for my sister.
Oh, yeah. Get the Hilfiger fever. What's up, my figures? Figures with an attitude. Action figures. My action figures. Yeah. What were we talking about? I'm kind of looking. I was surprised by Margot Robbie. I think it's how you say her name. As Harley Quinn. That's what I'm most looking forward to, is her playing that character.
You are.
And it's not like sexual or anything, but
Partly, at least.
okay.
What percent? 13? 20? 25. Stop me when I've gone too high. 30. 56. 79. 83. Okay, 83?
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, yeah, I kind of feel like an idiot for going on. Oh, Harley Quinn looks like a slut. It's just I guess the word I was looking for was more trashy or anything, but still. I mean, that complaint. I realize that complaint doesn't really work for any of these characters, because they can be as classy as they possibly can and as trashy as they possibly can. But it works because they're fucking insane.
They're deviants. They're villains.
Yeah, you can't really complain about them at all. I guess, because when people say Heath Ledger isn't accurate to the comic book Joker, incorrect by the way. Even if he wasn't, it doesn't fucking matter, because he's the Joker.
Right.
That's it. The Joker can literally put on the Batman suit and go, whoa, whoa. It would make sense. There would be nothing wrong with it. That's what's so great about it.
Right.
Yeah.
They're chaotic enough. And this is a little off topic, but when it comes to the Joker, as far as I'm concerned, any depiction works because he's been such a versatile character over the past 80 years that it gels, whatever.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a core that you can center it around. Yeah. But still, even that is malleable, whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I called, what was I saying? Piranha earlier, so it works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I forgot the director's name, but he's done stuff. I know the type of movies that he made, but I'm not sure. I can't think of them. It's just like crime thrillers and stuff like that. So, crime movies. That's stuff he's done in the past. So this is right up his alley, but I was concerned about the comic book elements of it. And stuff like characters like Killer Croc look really good. I really like the way Killer Croc looks. And I'm excited to see where they're taking this DC animated universe. This DC extended universe. I keep calling it animated because that's what I'm used to. And how it's where it's gonna go from here, because it already has some established history. Whereas with Marvel, it's more of it's sort of just building it on its own.
Right.
Some stuff in the past. Like, Robin's already dead, obviously. Which Robin? I'm not sure. I think... Don't tell me. Oh, Jesus.
First one.
The first one became Nightwing. The second one died, right? And that second one was...
Yeah.
Dick Grayson became Nightwing.
I think I know.
Jason Todd.
Yeah.
Jason Todd is the one who died. So that's his Robin suit. I'm assuming that's he was looking at. Joke's on you, Batman was written on the Robin suit.
So that's cool. So they're picking it up halfway through. Not from.
Yeah, apparently, and I like the fact that. Well, I'm a little torn on the fact that they actually went with like the actual Robin suit, the way it looks in the comic books, like literally the way it looks.
The shorts and all that.
Yeah, maybe the tights burned off or something. But if there's anything I liked from the Joel Schumacher films was actually Robin had an insignia, but it was kind of pretty much ripped off of or inspired by Nightwing, pretty much. But I like the fact that he had like a bird, like a Robin symbol instead of just like an R.
Right.
But they're never going to do that again because the movie was shit and it looks too much like Nightwing. But that actually makes sense since he becomes Nightwing.
Yeah.
That Robin specifically became Nightwing, according to the film's canon. Or, I'm sorry, the comics canon.
Yeah. Considering he was the first Robin.
So that'd be perfectly okay.
Yeah.
But since it's totally ruined now, you can't do armored suit and nipples anymore. I don't know why you would want to in the first place. That's not happening. So that's...
It kind of makes sense, you think the nipples would chafe unless you have some sort of nipple protection, so you want your nipples an outlet.
I imagine there's like 3 layers of clothing underneath the armor and the actual skin.
That's gotta get hot.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's insulated like a race car driver's suit, because it has the cooling stuff because it gets really hot in the car.
Right, yeah. Just like that movie about the Brazilian guy.
Yeah, Senna, the documentary.
Right, Speed Racer.
No, it's a good documentary. You should watch it. It's good. I would also like to recommend the film Rush, because I saw Rush before, And I think people who worked on Sinnoh worked on Rush.
You're talking about Rush Hour, right?
No.
Jackie Chan.
No, but I do get excited whenever I'm channel surfing. I'm like, oh, Rush Hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. Really underrated, I think.
Yeah, I know. I really like the way that they play off each other.
You actually saw Rush?
Oh, no, Rush Hour.
Wow. Because there is a bit of that in... There's a lot of that in Rush, is how they're playing off of each other. Because the film is essentially about two race car drivers from the 70s. Formula One drivers. It follows them from Formula 3 up to Formula 1, early 70s to mid-70s. Mm-hmm. And... one of the race car drivers' names is Niki Lauda, who's Austrian.
Austrian?
Yeah. Gustava. That's how you say it, right?
What, the goose step in German?
Yeah, which is okay because he played a Nazi in the Quentin Tarantino film, Inglourious Bastards. I think he played in it, so it's okay.
Okay.
So it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to call him a Nazi. I mean,
because he played one on TV.
Exactly. In a movie.
Right.
Already.
Which is probably on a TV at some point.
Yeah. 2000. It was 2009, so that's probably enough
time. It's on
time
Netflix. I just saw.
I just meant like on basic.
Yeah. No, I know. I was just throwing that out.
There's a certain amount of time you can play because I'm so used to ever since I got HBO and all the other movie channels. I'm so used to getting newer movies like a year after they come out versus 3 years on TV. I'm just like, hey guys, Thor's on TV now. I was like, Thor 2 is on fucking TV now. Yeah. Ooh, wow.
HBO, you bitch.
Well, not even on HBO. It's on Stars. So Stars has a lot of the Marvel movies. They always play Amazing Spider-Man 2, Thor 2, Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain America, Winter Soldier. On the 4th of July, they had like a Captain America Winter Soldier marathon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'm like, why don't you guys just play the first one too as well? Just play them back to back.
Yeah.
Oh, also, speaking of making comedic stuff on the internet, Image kind of got a little notoriety.
Really?
Yeah, just people.
Going with the butt?
Yeah, it's all over. People are retweeting it everywhere.
Really?
It's truly it's anonymous. Creativity feels good, you know, because people are only looking at your work and you don't exist at all. It just sort of manifests just simply because the idea is there. And I'm sorry, that sounds really pretentious, but it's a really great feeling.
Yeah,
I recommend that people try that.
That's cool.
Just anonymously creating stuff that you think is funny. And don't put your name on it. Don't put any logo on it. Just do it. Not do that obviously as a hobby, but
But do copyright it and then sue everyone who reposts it, right?
Yes. It's funny how some people have the same idea as me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll just make something very similar, or someone will have a tweet of the image with other stuff that reminds them of it. That's kind of close.
All right, so we don't have a lot of time left because I gotta go soon.
Okay.
But you want to talk a little bit about Suicide Squad before we close this up?
I thought we already said enough about Suicide Squad.
But nothing more to say about Suicide Squad?
I don't know what else. What else?
We don't have to say. I thought maybe we got a little off track. So
I only talked about the Joker and Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
And talked about how they can be done in different ways.
What about Will Smith? He doesn't have a French accent.
No.
Is that a problem?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
He's fine. Although there are rumors that he's having he's getting it on with Margot Robbie behind the scenes because they were in a movie where I think they did get it on. The characters did. And on set she mentioned Suicide Squad, and he wanted to be, and I guess he wanted to be in it, and now he's in Suicide Squad because she mentioned it to him.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know. I don't know about them, doing it or anything. Doing it. Well, I think that rumor stems from them having supposedly Jada Pinkett Smith said, "Oh, we have an open relationship," so she's probably doing someone else, and he's also doing someone. And their children are children, I guess I should say.
Are also probably doing people.
No, Jaden's just Jaden's just in his own little world.
Yeah.
Where up is down and left is right. It's in black is white because he appeared. I don't remember where he appeared. Made his appearance, but he dressed up as a black Batman, but in a white suit.
Really?
It was a white Batman suit.
Yeah, I feel like that actually looked kind of cool. Did it not?
It's just, I don't know what's wrong with this guy. I just don't know. Scientology is a hell of a drug.
Oh, is he a Scientologist?
I think so.
Huh.
That could be
Jaden, the child.
the whole family. I think
They're all Scientologists?
That's how it works. It's a package deal. I mean,
Really?
Look what happened to Katie Holmes' career. She wasn't allowed to be in The Dark Knight. She wasn't allowed to. What else? What else was she not allowed to do?
Why not?
She was just in a lot of crappy. She was in Jack and Jill.
She was?
Yeah, she was Adam Sandler's wife.
No way.
She had to be in that so she wouldn't outshine her husband.
Seriously?
Well, that's what everyone thinks. And I don't know if that's more Scientology and less Scientology and more just Tom Cruise being a weirdo. Because I saw that documentary on Scientology that was on HBO, and I saw Tom Cruise and he at one of the congregations or something, like he showed up in front of a crowd at the church, and he was shaking the guy's hand who runs the church. He has a very enthusiastic handshake. It's very unnerving to watch him.
Tom Cruise?
Yeah, he's so enthusiastic about everything. So even his handshake's just like,
I can imagine.
yeah.
Those teeth whipping out.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. He's so enthusiastic. That's why he's that explains it all. That's why he's an actor. That's why he likes doing all these crazy stunts in all these Mission Impossible movies, where he could die. He could fucking die just by the slip of his foot, you know. Because in Mission Impossible 4, he was on one of the tallest building in the world, and he could have fucking died.
Seriously.
And in Mission Impossible 5, he was on the side of a plane taking off, and he could have died.
Not a stunt double?
Not a stunt double. It was
Seriously?
him. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I like filmmakers that are doing this.
Yeah.
You know, because it feels real, it looks real. And
It is real.
Yeah, it is real.
Israel.
Israel.
Speaking of Israel.
Let's not talk about Israel. I guess one thing I wanted to talk about that's been on my mind for a little while. I don't know if we have time for that, but was the validity of an art form, I suppose. Like, because I'm working with comic book stuff, and generally comic book stuff is seen as a lesser art form than literature or film or television, because of not really the nature of the medium itself. Like sequential art obviously gives way to lesser art. It's more just what has been done with the medium sort of paints a picture of how people feel about it. So like, children-oriented stuff that's a little too edgy, a little too dark just for the sake of it.
Right.
Very gratuitous. But there's been other stuff that's been as a story, as an individual piece of art, outdoes certain television shows and movies, and maybe even literature, or just stuff written in books. So I just think it depends. I understand there's sort of an average quality, I suppose, that each medium sort of is positioned at. I don't know if it's objective or not, but it's just how people feel about it. I try to enjoy different things. If I like it, fine, but I don't try to enjoy stuff because it makes me seem smart. And I'm not saying people who enjoy stuff that is considered high art are doing it because it makes them seem smart. I mean, they're probably out there, of course, but that's probably just their preference, you know. But I'm not so into making other people feel bad for enjoying stuff. I will, call out certain things that I don't enjoy, and for whatever reason. But I'm working from the basis that everyone feels this way just because they feel this way.
Right.
Maybe there's some other factors that are influencing them. I could probably zoom in on that, but whatever. But I don't think I could just sit here and call someone stupid, just genuinely stupid for liking a certain thing.
Yeah.
I feel like because that's what Bill Maher, that's what he did on his show last year.
What do you do?
I don't know if maybe I should pull up the video or not. I don't think I would be able to find the video in time. But he had this panel of discussion. The people he had on there was Josh Gad, who did the voice of the snowman from Frozen, and he had director Catherine Bigelow, who used to be married to James Cameron. She's a film director. She did stuff like Strange Days, Zero Dark 30, Hurt Locker, stuff like that. He basically took the stats from the highest grossing movies in the 20th century and took the highest grossing movies from the 21st century, adjusted for inflation, something like that, and came out with movies that weren't about certain things like wizards and superheroes and aliens. Was Titanic, and movies from back in the day was didn't have anything to do with those,
right?
Because that particular genre in film was kind of just ass, because I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say they were bad. It was just they weren't as popular, and they didn't have the feats to pull it off successfully as they did in the 70s and 80s.
Right.
But he's just noting at the popularity of superhero films and other types of genres that are just big breadwinners when it comes to the box office, and he just asks the panel, "Are we getting stupid?"
What do they say?
Well, Catherine Bigelow said, "Yeah, it's really sad. It's really something along the lines of pathetic. I think I don't understand where he's coming from on this. I don't understand where he's getting this insinuation that we are dumber. I don't know if it's test scores or this test score correlates with this interest in film. Because if you're going by what I think he's just going by what sounds right in his head. Wizards, dragons, aliens. It's really stupid, right, guys? That's pretty much it.
Right.
The only piece of data that he has is just adjusted for inflation, and all these other numbers. What's popular then and what's popular now?
Right.
And I'm surprised that he mentioned stuff with dragons and wizards, because I immediately think of Lord of the Rings, which was a big breadwinner.
Which is beautiful.
Yeah, and
a work of art.
Academy Awards and all that other stuff. So. You really think if you showed an audience from 1960s Lord of the Rings, you think they're going to go, well, this is so below our intellect. Right. It would have won. It would have been even more popular, I would think.
I mean, plus, it's not like the content of these movies is worse. You have a hero defeating a dark force. You have an argument of philosophies. You have romance. You have strong characters. It's not like we're just watching an hour's worth of explosions. These are real stories.
That's what kills me here, because he said that popular movies back then were about people. These movies are about dragons and wizards. It's like, these movies are about people.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are about hobbits, but the hobbits are people.
Right.
It's the internalization of the characters. It's the role that they play in this world. It is absolutely about characters. All of this is about Game of Thrones is about fucking characters. I would dare say Game of Thrones is one of the most character-based stuff on television right now.
Certainly by quantity.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like the kind of person who would get hung up on the peripherals of the set dressing and sort of the trimmings of the world, and say, you know what, just based on this is stupid, and you enjoying this makes you stupid. It's the same kind of person who would get hung up on the set dressing only and just say, this is cool, look at all these dragons, man, that's why I like it. Look at all these explosions, robots, man, that's the only reason why I like it.
Right.
It's nothing to do with its role in this story that it's telling.
That in itself is an unintelligent evaluation.
Exactly. It's ignoring the very core of these individual stories.
Right.
I honestly just don't know where he's getting all this information from, because it feels like, I feel like if I'm going to make an evaluation on someone for what they enjoy, I would think genre stuff, like, aliens, science fiction, fantasy, something that was enjoyed by very intelligent people.
Yes.
Because I was mentioning Atari Game Over, the documentary, and the guy who programmed the Atari. Programming games back then was fucking hard.
Yeah.
Because it was only a certain sector of the population could do it. He was into all that sort of stuff. He wrote a science fiction story about these bugs taking over the galaxy, and he based his game off of that. That guy is highly intelligent, and he was interested in this kind of stuff. Stuff that he would deem to be lesser of an art form. So I don't think there's. I mean, you can make a correlation like that, but I don't think it's directly causing that. I wouldn't make that claim. I don't know that much, but I think that's a little too far. And the worst part of I guess it wouldn't be so bad if he wasn't in some of these movies that he's talking shit about, because he was in Iron Man 3 playing himself, and the only reason why he's in Iron Man 3, the only reason why that was even considered, was to make these films seem like they take place in our world.
Right.
When they're doing a montage of some of the
right.
The political commenters, talking about what's happening in our world today. It's the only reason why you're in there.
Right.
It's like questioning why you're in Family Guy or something.
Right.
You're in fucking Family Guy twice. So I whatever.
Yeah.
It's not so much that I disagree with him in terms of preferences, because it is just preferences. What's driving his feelings right now? It's just that he's wrong. I feel like he's talking shit.
Yeah.
And Catherine Bigelow really pissed me off too, because I don't know what leg she has to stand on, because she made a science fiction movie, Strange Days, and she also made a fantasy movie, Zero Dark 30. That was the one where she killed Osama, or not where she killed Osama bin Laden, but it depicted the the killing and hunting down Osama bin Laden and killing him.
I see.
I called it a fantasy because I was being.
Oh
wait,
okay,
no, wait! I didn't call it a fantasy. I'm sorry. Those weren't my words. Those were Bill Maher's words. He literally called it a fantasy because we tortured someone, and that led us to finding Osama bin Laden. When really torturing didn't actually help. Torturing didn't help at all. Torturing doesn't work. That's what we found out. Torturing just didn't fucking help, and it made us look worse as a nation that we're torturing people, and it's. Well, that's a discussion for
a policy actually based on a television show about the CIA. I think 24. They actually cited 24 in the policy.
Yes, that's it. That's exactly. Yeah, we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hey, 24 is about people. 24 doesn't have dragons or wizards or fucking superheroes.
A sweet CIA agent who gets purple nurples to get information. Real stuff.
Yeah. It's Jesus, I never thought Winter Soldier would have, more to say than fucking 24. With better, I don't know, better sort of effect on the mass populace than 24 has. Or CIA, or I'm sorry, CIA. God damn it. CSI has a negative effect also on the jury process because people think, they get information faster, or they're just like zooming in hands and all that stuff. It's pretty much warped the public perception of the way these aspects of criminal justice works. Because Law and Order is too boring, apparently. It kind of is. So, I guess that's the danger you run in when you try to be scientifically accurate, because you run the risk of being pretentious or being seen as pretentious. Because it's one thing to say, you know what, hey, you did everything you could in this film, but I just didn't like it. I didn't think it was very good. But when someone calls it pretentious, it's like they're saying that, you know what, you're only pretending. I feel like it's more of a character attack than really anything about the film, because the film doesn't have really a life of its own. It's everything that happens in the film is being done by people behind the scenes.
Right.
And to say that you're pretending I feel like that's more of a, it's more of a comment on the people who are making it. And that's why we've gotten so cynical, because no one wants to take anything seriously now.
Right.
And I feel like things that do take themselves seriously, like The Dark Knight and Man of Steel, I feel like those have more longevity than stuff that tries to force memorability, like with Guardians of the Galaxy. Because I'll try to quote Guardians of the Galaxy. I can't think of anything. The only thing I can think of is Dance Off, Bro, You and Me. Because it's just, you can insert that in anything.
I'm Star-Lord.
Like, you ever dance with the devil under the pale moonlight? Yeah, he told me, dance off, bro, you and me. So that's all I can think of. That's the only funny thing I can think of. But like with The Dark Knight, it has its own sort of memorability. Even if people are making fun of it, it still has it still has a marking here in our popular culture, and it hasn't been forgotten. Still, people are still like citing it and quoting it. And
it was real.
A
movie about superheroes, and it really said something striking about human nature.
Also, it touched upon the surveillance thing before Winter Soldier did. Before it was even cool to talk about that kind of stuff.
Right.
And so did the Simpsons movie. But that movie should have been made 10 years ago anyways. So I think, and it's funny because I never know Catherine Bigelow felt this way, because, I think Bill Maher put his shoe in his foot when she came onto the show after what he said. I don't know if they made up or anything, or if they fucked backstage. I don't know.
Probably.
I mean, it's not like Ann Coulter was there, because I'm pretty sure they do it a lot. They hate fuck. That's his joke. That's his running joke. Him and Ann Coulter hate fuck all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
He says that?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know Ann Coulter?
Yeah, she's the conservative.
Scoff. The scoff lady, I like to call her. Ann Scoff Coulter.
Ann Scoff Coulter.
Yeah.
Scoff at me. Scoff louder.
Scoff of my cock. That wouldn't be so bad if that was an actual fetish. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yes.
So, the movie that she was selling was this documentary about elephants, and I don't know if you know this, Catherine. I'm sorry, Miss Bigelow. But that movie is probably definitely not about humans. It's definitively about elephants. Okay? And people's jobs, actual people, human beings, are dependent upon the trading of elephant tusks. And if you actually want to stop that, you're taking jobs away from people. I mean, and they're African too, so you're a fucking racist. See what I did there? See how pathetic I made you seem?
Wow.
What's your fucking movie about fucking elephants? I give that 2 trunks down.
Probably be so bad not even the elephants will remember it.
I stampeded away from the movie theater. No, but seriously, the plight of the elephant is actually a pretty serious deal. So I mean, it's
Plight of the elephant.
It's oh, narrated by Morgan Freeman. Like, I don't know. I can't even do the voice. So I found it funny that she was married to James Cameron for a short amount of time before they divorced, obviously. To be a fly on the wall for those conversations when they talked about genre stuff, that must have drove him fucking crazy to hear her talk about, because James Cameron is one of the most prolific directors for genre stuff. Because he did Terminator 1 and 2, Aliens, not Titanic, I'm sorry, Avatar, The Abyss, all science fiction stuff.
Yeah.
So just to be a fly on the wall for those conversations. Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They must have gotten to like a whole
raging and all.
Yeah. Jesus. I mean, James Cameron is famous for the number of divorces that he's had, but that one must have been very particular. They're chasing film because they were both filmmakers and everything. It's like no, this is fun. This is entertaining. I'm actually but it's not real. It's not real. It's not about people. What are you fucking talking about? Of course, Aliens is about people. Did you actually just look at the title and go, "Oh, it's about aliens"? I can't. That's stupid. Because it is. Take my word for it. Also, Bill, you need to get a fucking applause sign because your studio audience is fucking annoying. Okay, and he knows this too. So they'll clap. They'll just slap their hands together for anything that they agree with. It's so irritating. Ugh.
It's actually just a group of 500 seals.
I saw this webcomic of Joss Whedon revolving around his relationship with feminism, and they just basically describe SJWs as just horking seals, just slapping their hands together. They had like the glasses and the undercut and the whole get up, and he was, and it just depicted like the deterioration of the relationship. And he's just like sort of in the crowd of seals, dressed up as a seal. He's like, "Yay, feminism!" Oh. It's so weird. I'm sorry, Joss. It's okay. He heard a remix on the radio, and he threw the radio.
Ruined his life.
Yeah. People are not allowed to remix things. Now, excuse me while I remix everything in every fiction that I write, because essentially, what was the show that he wrote? Firefox.
Oh, Firefly.
Firefly?
Yeah. Firefly.
Wasn't that just like a remix of Cowboy Bebop? That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true.
That kind of makes sense. I've never seen Cowboy Bebop, but it is like cowboys in space either way. So.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yep.
Well, that was an interesting conversation about
the
role of art and literature. And
I'm glad you brought that up. You made some interesting points. The whole podcast as a whole.
Yeah, it
enjoyable experience.
Yeah, that was just something that's been on my chest for a while. I wanted to talk about because I don't know. We live in a time where everyone just feels like giving other people shit for enjoying stuff.
Be who you are. Yeah. Like what you like. Leave everyone else alone.
It's part of the reason why I didn't upload our discussion of Interstellar yet. And we had that discussion like 6 months ago, I think.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah, so I don't know. I feel very weird about Interstellar because anything I say about it is like, if for some reason it directly ties into my general intelligence because the scientific accuracy of the film has been called into question by actual scientists like Lawrence Krauss. So I'm just like, oh shit, I gotta be careful what I say here. I mean, I'm a fucking nobody, but still.
Science-fiction. Science fiction.
Yeah.
We don't watch it because it's scientifically accurate. That's not the point.
Well, he claimed it was one of the worst movies ever made. Well, at least that's what the video title said. I'm pretty sure it was being, I didn't actually watch the video yet, but that's a bit of a hyperbole. Because to be one of the worst movies ever, you have to get the basic tenets of filmmaking wrong. Like, the camera has to be pointing at the person who's talking, or the camera has to be on, or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it was a really well-made movie. I rewatched it recently, and he has a real eye for cinematography. It's really damn good. and I still can't tell whether or not it's CGI or miniatures or just like composite shots. It's just so good. Music, it's Hans Zimmer's best work since Sherlock Holmes. The score for Sherlock Holmes. It's really that good. Matthew McConaughey's really great too.
That's cool.
The story's decent enough. I mean, people call it boring. I don't know. I find it reasonably entertaining. And I like that aspect of time travel. I don't think I've seen before. And although the film doesn't really rely on, at some points, it doesn't really rely on consistency in the real world in terms of scientific accuracy, it has somewhat of its own internal consistency to a degree. I don't know.
All right. Anyway,
It's too complicated. It's too much for me.
shall we sign off?
All right, this has been the Darkspideycast, celebrating 1 year of yelling into this microphone. I don't know if it's actually been 1 year, because it's been over 1 year, because we did it on July 4th. So, and
Close
I don't know.
enough, huh?
I don't know what the upload date was because I didn't have the flash drive with me. So,
Well, happy birthday to us.
happy birthday, Darkspideycast.
Yep.
Yeah,
Na, 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 na.
I don't know what you do.
I think that's what you sing on birthdays.
Oh, we didn't even celebrate the birthday, the 1 year birthday of how long we've been doing the commentaries. We've been doing it for 1.5 years now. Well, now, but you
You can do
understand.
2 years. Huh?
So it's pretty much been going on 2 years now. So
Well,
I didn't tell you because there was a time I could have told you, but I completely forgot. It was a year. So
you want to chink our cups in celebration?
what did you just say?
Chink our cups?
It's kink.
Clink?
Clink.
Kink.
What did you say?
You want to stink our cups?
No, I want the first thing you said.
Listen, I've been racist enough in this podcast already.
There you go.
Sorry.
That's why.
Okay.
Probably
Oh,
signing off.
See ya.
Bye. I can't think of anything funny to say.
Just
Ben Affleck's penis.
Ben Affleck's penis.
Which
Also
was
known as Wang.
Low Wang. Long Wang.
Low.
Low Wang. God, how sexy was Ben Affleck in that trailer?